In November 1986, Wolves were at an all-time low. The receivers were at the door and the team had slumped towards the foot of Division 4. But then manager Graham Turner approached neighbours West Brom and pulled off a transfer deal that changed the club's fortunes. Albion had just been relegated from the top flight. 19-year-old fullback Andy Thompson had become a regular. Meanwhile, a striker signed from Tipton Town had just broken into the team.
I signed an 18-month contract, and within, I think it was 5 games, I scored 3 goals. Ron Saunders actually pulled me in and says, somebody's coming for you. I says, who? He says, Wolves. I went, Wolves? I went, yeah, Wolves down the road. I went, oh, okay then. He says, I says, I'm not wanted here. He went, you ain't got a first touch for this division.
Gone to training one morning, and I think it was one of the chief scouts or one of the coaches come up to me and said, look, the manager wants to see you down to the ground. We've agreed a fee with Wolves. We want you to go down there and talk to them. Me
and Tom, I came down on the same day in this big orange Cortina, and we looked like Starsky and Hutch, to be fair. You know, I mean, he had a leather jacket on and I got long hair like.
I'll tell you what, it was the right size, and it was bright orange as well. I'd say I'm a proper one.
And we came down here, and within 5-10 minutes we both signed.
When we actually were getting changed and it was raining, so it was coming in through the ceiling. There was cockroaches in your shoes when you was coming. You had to check your shoes when you got changed. So it's everything. So it's totally different.
Was it Sunday League standard?
Oh, it was worse than that. It was worse than that.
If the facilities were bad, the team was worse. Bull and Thompson signed just in time to watch their new team take on multi-part league amateurs Chorley in a second replay of an FA Cup first round tie.
It was at Burnham Park, the old Bolton ground. And I say we've come there and was thinking, oh, we'll go and watch the game because we just signed, we couldn't play because it was the FA Cup. And we've gone down the first half, I think it was 2-0, they were down, and we were going, oh no, what we've done here.
That was our first encounter of lower league football at its worst.
It ended up 3-0, and so me and Steve were like that, oh no, so a big mistake I think we've made.
The 1987-88 season was when the revival began with a 2-2 draw away at Scarborough, although it was what went on off the pitch that will live long in the memory.
They took a lot of fans up to Scarborough, and I say one thing or another, say some fan ended up being on the roof over the top of the Scarborough fans. So the next thing he's dancing on top of the stand, and the next thing he just disappeared. He's gone straight through the roof of the stand. Everybody thought the worst, the game went ahead, and when we was actually leaving the ground, say somebody's come up by the doors, and we were saying, who's this? He had a sling on, he had a collar on, he had one trainer on, he was limping, and it was the lad who fell through the roof. And he was like, is there any chance of a lift home? And we couldn't believe it. Like I said, there's still the state, he was still there, he was still trying to support the club in any way he could.
I don't think they give him a lift, did they? They give him some taxi money, I think.
I think they give him a taxi money in the end.
Yeah, I think they give him some taxi money. He says, go on your way, you can't get on here, mate.
Bull scored 52 goals as Wolves stormed Division 4 and went to Wembley in the Sherpa Van Trophy final. Strike partner Andy Much scored one of his 23 that day, a partnership worth 75 goals.
He was a Scouser, and I mean, I was from Tipton, and on the field we knew where we was, but we couldn't understand each other. You know, he's like, hey, calm down, Billy. And I was going, oh, you're number 5, number 4. So, but we had a great 7 years together, clicked together. It was absolutely unbelievable.
The fans couldn't believe it either, and Bull was gaining cult status.
He just popped his head through the door. I don't know how he got there because it's about a 10-foot drop from the window to the other side, and he just put his arm out and just shouted, "Come on, me babbies," you know what I mean? And that just escalates into all the fans outside saying the same.
The following season carried on in the same vein. 50 more goals from Bull and another 23 from Much. With 148 between them in just 2 seasons, Wolves won back-to-back promotions.
Tremendous! Oh, I'm going to enjoy it now. Oh, great!
If Bull thought it couldn't get any better, he was wrong.
We'd just come out of the 3rd division, and I was just doing my usual stuff, scoring goals for fun. And Graham turned up to
makes it sound easy, doesn't it? Scoring goals for fun.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. But,
could do with one now.
Could do with something there. But Graham Turner actually just called me in, and he actually said to me, he says, I've got 2 things to say to you. England are coming for you, or you can come to Spain with us on a pre-season trip. I went, I've got a choice.
And true to form, the 3rd division striker came on as a substitute and scored on his England debut.
When he'd actually scored, we was just on our way back, and somebody said he'd scored, and we went, Yeah, right. So like you no chance. And then so the next thing it's come on the television screen, with his usual touch off the back of his neck.
That's my first touch. That's why Ron Saunders got rid of me.
that was
the first touch.
The following season saw the pair meet their old club on level terms. And to the glee of Wolves fans, Bulls scored the winner in both local derbies.
I think Albion realised that they did get more so probably Steve on the cheap, and I think that's why he built up the hatred, because I think the Wolves fans are rubbing it in to Albion, saying, well, we've only paid like 60,000 for him.
On Sunday, Bull and Thompson will be cheering from the stands, although finding someone else to score against their arch-rivals hasn't been so easy.
They're doing well, so like, apart from putting the ball in the net, and it's unfortunate, but hopefully it might come right on Sunday.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. We'll be cheering and we're going to have a point after and say, come on then, we'll beat the Albion again.
In all, Andy Thompson played 431 times for the club. Steve Bull's goals took him all the way to the 1990 World Cup finals with England, and he remains the club's record scorer with 306 goals. At 65 grand for the pair, Wolves have a lot to thank West Brom for.